Hey everybody, and welcome to your social media manager training. I am Kate Buck Jr. I will be your instructor for the training, and since we're going to be spending a lot of time together, at least you'll be spending a lot of time listening to my voice throughout the rest of the training, I thought the first and most appropriate thing that we could do was get to know each other a little bit better. So as I told you, my name is Kate Buck, and I am a social media manager. I've been a social media manager since and run my own business since about late 2008, because you see what happened was I was about to get laid off, and I finally decided that I needed to do something about it. I was determined to find another job, and I wanted to work online on social media. I had heard about Twitter, and I had heard it was a good place to connect with people and that I could possibly find a job somehow using Twitter. So ironically, I had set up an account back in, the springtime of that year. So all I had to do was head on over to Twitter and reactivate that account, and I was on my way. I really didn't know what to do. There was no instruction manuals or any kind of training like this social media manager training that you're listening to now when I got started. So I just kind of thought, well, I'm going to connect with anybody that I think can help me. And so anybody that seemed like they had experience in social media, or that they worked in social media, or that they were in marketing, or if they were an entrepreneur, or I heard about this thing called virtual assistants, and that was people that worked from home doing freelance task, project management, office work, all different types of tasks for people. So I started following those virtual assistants. I wanted to connect with anybody that I thought could help me find a job. But what I noticed actually was easier was finding little freelance contract work to pay my bills while I was doing that. Meanwhile, I began to attend some offline networking events, and I solidified a lot of relationships. So, I mentioned I was following anybody that I thought it could help me. Well, since I live in Austin, Texas, I followed a lot of people in the Austin, Texas area. And then I began attending networking events offline, real, live, in person, IRL, networking events. And I got to meet those Twitter connections at the tweet ups, right? So now we had a face-to-face, a real connection, and we were really friends. And that really just launched my business. I networked my way to a full-time service-based business in just weeks, using really only my laptop and my Twitter account. Now I get to work from home. I work on my own terms whenever I want, and I sometimes don't even get out of my pajamas. I have the opportunity to travel the world and hang out with some of the smartest, brightest, and most successful people on the planet. I thankfully have a team of dedicated people that work for me that keep my business going, even when I'm off traveling, speaking, and just, having fun and experiencing life. The hardest part is that there's so much business that I personally can't handle it all. And, this trend, I think, is only going to keep growing in the coming years. The best part is that almost all of my business comes from referrals. So I don't really need to advertise. And I'm often actually referring a lot of my business out to colleagues and social media managers that I've trained, because the word of mouth is just so powerful, and I have so many people reaching out to me, again, without the need to advertise, that I personally cannot take on every single client. So that leaves me in a really great place where I get to selectively choose the clients that I want to work with, that I think would be fun, and projects that I want to work with. And I have the opportunity to turn away or refer out a lot of business. So that's, kind of where I am now. And a lot of people ask me, well, how did you do it? And I've heard, rumors or whatever, that some people would just say, well, Kate was just lucky. She was an early adopter. What that means is, I was on social media, early. Like Twitter really got popular, and when Oprah got on Twitter, and that was in 2009, and I was already a seasoned social media pro by then. And some people say, well, she didn't really know any better. And, oftentimes we hear these stories of people that are successful that, or, I don't know, I guess we could say are almost too dumb to fail, or, something like that. I don't know how the phrase actually goes, but you get the point. Like, I didn't know enough to be to hold myself back. And I really just got out there. But, I actually disagree with either of those. I think those two kind of excuses for maybe why I was accidentally successful are not the actual reason. I think it was because I am an avid learner. I love learning. I love reading anything I can get my hands on. And I try to learn everything that I possibly can. Once I learn something, I want to understand it and how it really works in different scenarios. So being able to apply what I learned is also a skill that I have. You can even ask my college professors about this because when I was in ballet back in college, this is exactly how I operated. I learned something and then I tried to apply it different ways to make sure that I understood it. I am an opportunity seeker. So I am somebody that is a yes to life, and I'm always looking for the next, latest, greatest opportunity. I have my eyes wide open, and I'm open to meeting people, talking with them, seeing if there's any natural synergies. I'm open to the serendipity of being an entrepreneur. And all in all, I find myself somebody that's very positive, upbeat, and looking for opportunities. I made a commitment to my business and to my clients, and I got committed to becoming successful in this space. And I think that is a skill that, as anybody, as long as you make a commitment to get in action and to implement the things that you learn, that you too can be successful. And along the way, I created, really killer branding, which I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about later in the training how to create killer, memorable, and remarkable branding that helps you stand out from the crowd and be remembered weeks after you meet someone. So these skills that I just mentioned to you have allowed me to not only run my full-time service-based business, but to be able to do consulting for some of the top online brands. I've trained hundreds of social media managers. I'm a nationally recognized speaker on the topic of social media. I've created many online trainings just like the one that you're listening to right now. I'm a best-selling Amazon book author. I've written a Kindle book on Pinterest, and we were a bestseller on our first day on the market. I host offline events and trainings, including my social media manager mastermind, which is for elite and successful social media managers that want to take their business to the very next level and start doing some of the things that I'm talking about on this slide here. And one of my favorite things is that I've been able to become a passive income earner from using other types of marketing besides social media and using email marketing and affiliate marketing as ways to grow my business. Now, I'm not telling you this to try to impress you. I'm telling you this so that you can really see that you can experience this kind of success too. It's at the tip of your fingertips. But really, honestly, you don't have to just believe me. I'm going to talk to you right now. I want you to meet a few of my social media manager students who once were sitting right where you are right now, listening to a video just like this one, who have gone on to create some amazing businesses and create some amazing lives. And these people all came from different walks of life. They came from different backgrounds and different education levels. They lived in different cities and countries around the world. The common theme in all of these people that I am about to talk to you about is that they, one, took this training, and two, that they put this training into action. They implemented. They didn't just learn, they went and implemented. So first, let's meet Karen. Before Karen was a social media manager, she was a paralegal for 15 years, and she worked part-time, and she was bored. She wanted to find a career in social media after she got laid off. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? So Karen and I have something in common there. And she stumbled across Let's Get Social and then launched her business in September 2010. She has great clients. She says she loves the control over her salary and her workload, the total freedom over her schedule, and the best part is she's making 2 to 3 times the amount of money that she made working as a paralegal. So congratulations, Karen. Meet Carol. She is a social media manager as well, and her company is called Social Media Help for You. Carol was a caretaker for the elderly, but before she took my social media manager training, but she was burned out and she always dreamed of having her own business. So she started to try to work from home, and she was writing a children's book, and so she began to meet some other authors online. And a lot of them were talking about how she should, do social media for authors for a living. So she went out to see if there was anything that she could learn about it, and if she stumbled across my training. And now she's been able to completely shift careers. She has 5 full-time clients, and her business is so successful that her husband even left his job to join her in their growing business. So congratulations to Carol Lawrence. And then we have Johnny. Johnny was an IT professional, but he was unemployed because of the economy. This is a story, of course, that I hear all too often. He was trying to support his family, and times were pretty tough. And then he took my social media manager training and completely reinvented himself in his business. He prepared himself for a job opportunity, and I'm blown away every time I talk about this. He beat out over 200 candidates for a full-time job. So you see, you don't have to start your own business if you don't want to. You can use the skills in this social media manager training to get a full-time job, and Johnny did just that. He's now the social media manager for a very large auto group, and he also manages 12 of that auto group's brands. So Johnny's been able to put social media to use for himself in many different ways, even with his town's youth commission is going to be offering a social media class. And he's gotten to meet the mayor, and he's had many, many good things that have happened to him because he became a social media manager. And the other part is that he's looking to move on to his next, even better position. So he's applied for a position making $130,000 a year as a full-time social media manager. And Johnny's hoping that since he stood out before with his training, that he'll stand out again. And I have no doubt that he'll get that position. So got my fingers crossed for you there, Johnny. And congratulations on all of your success. Let's meet Camille. She used to work with an online academic program, she says, and she assisted with their marketing. But then she realized that there was so much more to marketing online, and she needed to learn about social media. And she thought she could turn it into a business of her own. So she took my social media manager training and launched her own business, and that was 2 years ago. So Camille now has a very successful business, and she helps people grow their online presence and profits. She has a joy of running her business on her own terms. And the best part of it all for her is the same thing, that when her husband lost his job 6 months ago, her company was actually profitable enough to keep them afloat and withstand the hit of her husband not working. Now he too has joined her social media management team, and they're able to expand their business even further. And, they're just living their dream. They're doing something they've always dreamed about, which is owning a business together and working together, and they love every minute of it. So congratulations both on your business and your life success, Camille, especially turning something like losing a job into a positive. And that's really what it takes to be a successful social media manager and a successful business owner. Narissa tells us a great story about how she does a lot of international travel, and she's caring for her mom who is elderly. And because of the training and the clients that she has in her social media manager business, she's actually been allowed to, it actually has allowed her to spend some very precious time with her mom. and that is what's most important to her is time with her mom. And that just was so moving and so touching to me. So Narissa, thank you for writing in and sharing your story of your social media manager business with me, and best wishes to you and your mom. Now, Jeffrey is very active in our social media manager groups, and, he had a 9-to-5 retail job. So, we're not talking about anything, crazy. He was working in retail, and he wasn't happy, like many people working in retail, and he wanted a different lifestyle, one that he didn't have to be constrained by, that 9-to-5. So he took my social media manager training, and now he has a full-time business. It's simple, he says, and he's looking forward to expanding into Asia and Pacific regions and offering social media there, which I think is awesome. So congratulations, Jeffrey. And my course is what gave him the foundation to do that, to leave that 9-to-5 retail job and to start a business, and now to be looking at growing globally. Erica is just a precious member of our group. She had a full-time job with a great company that she loved and that she was making good money. But she was just getting bored with working the same hours and doing the same things over and over. Plus, she had 2 small children and she wanted some flexibility to spend more time with them. So she began to explore the idea of social media management, and of course she found my course on a Google search, because we know what we're doing over here. And even though she was skeptical, which I think is great, it's fine to do that. I think a healthy skepticism, is good. But she jumped in anyway, and that was 6 months ago. And she's had a lot of, she said it's been a lot of hard but fun work. She loves what she's doing. She's been able to go part-time with her day job, and she just hired her very, very first employee. All of that was within 6 months. So I can't imagine what the next 6 months will hold. When she doubles her business, she hires another employee, and she's able to quit her day job altogether. So congratulations, Erica. Great job. Vina is another great student from our social media manager group, and she was a business consultant. She had been doing that for 17 years, and she wanted to help other entrepreneurs, but she needed to grow her business. So Vina actually used my social media manager program to grow her business and get more leads to her business by using the things that I've taught her. So now she's living the dream. She lives on a houseboat in a wildlife refuge, and she has the opportunity to work with other social media managers and help them get their start. I just think this is great that she actually used the course to grow her business and reach out to other small business owners and new entrepreneurs. And then there's Takara, and I believe this is the last one that I'll be sharing with you. So this one, Takara is an amazing individual, also very active in our groups, and she was actually working in the pharmaceutical industry, but the pressure and stress was really getting to her. So she actually left and started building websites, which, before social media was a great freelance job to have where you could work online. And my friend Ori teaches a course called Make WordPress Easy, and he also teaches about selling websites easy. It's a great service that you can add on, but I digress. In any case, Takara was already doing that, but she wanted to, she wanted to do more, and she was having fun playing around on social media, and she was having so much fun doing that, and she thought she was having more fun doing that than building the websites, that she wanted to stop her website business and do social media management. So she took my social media manager course, and then she started implementing what she learned with her existing website clients. And the next thing you know, she was a best-selling author, which I think is just great. We've had some speakers in here, and now we have a best-selling author. She did no public appearances, and she did no traditional marketing for the book, yet she was able to exceed all of her expectations and reach bestseller status by just sending out a few emails and following the social media strategies that I teach in our social media manager training. So congratulations to you, Takara, and thank you to everyone who shared their story. As you can see, like I mentioned in the beginning, these folks are from all walks of life, from different educational backgrounds. They live in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. They run their businesses differently, but the one thing that they all have in common is that one is they watched this training, the training that you are about to watch, and it changed their life. And two, they went out and implemented. They got busy, they got clients, they got started. So guess what? Now it's your turn. It's your turn to get started. It's your turn to share in the limelight and the success. And so head on over and watch the next video in this module.